I'm grateful that we have this time together, where we can slow down a bit and rest our nervous systems, open our hearts, soften our bellies, and just sort of turn toward the mystery with one another and listen in that state of sort of awake, engaged, dynamic receptivity to the soul, to the personal soul, and also to the soul of the world, the anima mundi. To enter through one of the gates and come together into the mandala of healing, of wholeness, of aliveness, of being able to really participate here, to not postpone our engagement with this life, you know. And so while we're waiting for everyone to arrive, we can just take a few moments to just gather our energy and our attention from the busy morning, the busy afternoon, the busy week, the busy lifetime of becoming, and just connect with a sense of our own embodied presence, of really just being here, a few moments of just being, without necessarily needing to improve this moment, improve myself in this moment, fix something that's broken, resolve a problem that I've been grappling with, the problem of me and all of its different sort of varieties. But just aware of our bodies for a moment, just the way that we're breathing. Am I breathing from deep and low in my belly? Or is my breath up high in the chest? Is there some arousal, some activation? And just offering for a moment, it's like a sanctuary and safe passage, just for all of the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, the memories of the day. Just a temple, where all of the longing, all of the concerns, the worries, the joys, the fantasies, the hopes, the fears can really be illuminated and can be held. Where we can provide a home for all of the pieces of soul, to gather. We can retrieve them and bring them here, where we can see and hear and feel and be in relationship with them. So just taking a few slow, deep breaths as we anchor into the reality of now, perhaps the magic of now, the aliveness of now. That really activity of what we could describe as befriending, being a true friend to ourselves, which is not always easy for many of us. Being a friend to myself, to one another, to Gaia, to Goddess, to life, to reality itself. And no matter how you're doing in this moment, how this moment finds you, how things are going in your life, maybe it's a difficult or a challenging time for you with a lot of intense or overwhelming feeling or emotion or fear, worry or hurt or uncertainty, shakiness. You can be here exactly as you are. Your grief, the shame, the sadness, the worry, the uncertainty are all welcome here. There's a lot of space here for you as you are, as well, of course, for the peace, the presence, the wonder, the awe, and that simple, causeless joy of being itself, and that open spaciousness that we might discover when we come together in this way. A field of permission where for just a few moments I can truly be myself, be with myself, and allow my experience to be exactly what it is, to be exactly as it is, without any fantasy that it should be something else, that I should be someone else, to just experiment with setting that aside for a moment. It's a, it's a lot to ask. And not only is the entire actuality of our lived, embodied experience and all its chaos and glory, not only is that utterly valid and workable as a radiant expression of soul, not only is it welcome here or allowed here, permitted here into the tavern of friendship, the tavern of now, but more than that, it's actually needed, it's required, which might be a bit of a strange thing to say from a more conventional perspective. But I think from the perspective of the alchemist, which is you and me and us, which is our perspective here, each of the feelings and images and sensations in the body, the fantasies, the dreams, the symbols, the voices, these are all radiant expressions of what in alchemy is called the prima materia, the essential material, which is the actuality of our lived, embodied experience that is here now. This is what we're given to work with. The raw materials of the soul, of the psyche, of spirit, that we're able to tend to shine a light toward, not as an obstacle to our path, but as the very path itself. I mean, that is the alchemical invitation. All of our experience is valid as it is, it's workable, and it contains important data and information for the way ahead. And we can hold that together, and we can begin to trust in that, and trust in that there's a confidence that begins to grow over time, that even our most difficult, challenging, unwanted experiences and life situations are our path, that we actually need these materials of soul, that they form the walls and the rooms within the tavern that we're stepping into together as we do this work. That crystalline structure that Saint Teresa of Avila saw as the soul, and the rooms within the interior castle that she so eloquently described in her vision. Maybe some of you are familiar with Teresa. And so here we are, a few moments of just being with ourselves, with one another, a slowing and centering in body and mind, maybe a softening in the belly, There's a way that we can hold so much in our bellies, really without knowing that we're doing so. So much of our unmetabolized shame or grief or rage or sadness, unworthiness, loneliness, the entirety really of our unlived lives have a way of localizing at times within the belly. And you can notice through the day or right now if there's a way that you're holding your belly in or contracting, or there's a tension, a gripping. And just take a moment and with your breath, with your presence, with some sense of befriending and compassion to experiment with what it would be like to soften your belly. And also at the same time, remembering and feeling your heart, resting with your nervous system and just opening into this moment as best you can. A respite or some refuge or a pause from the storm, the inner storm, the outer storm, the chaos and the arousal and the collective right now, which of course gets mirrored down into this human soma and nervous system as sensitive, relational beings.